Fab 94.5 The Hits. I am Alex, the one getting it done, your Latino extraordinaire. And today we're at the Hip Shop up here in Melrose Park, Illinois. And I got somebody special in the building. Please help me give it up for
Aq Runitback.
That's right, that's right. Hey, first of all, this is a dope studio, bro. You have all the bells and whistles that any artist can want and ask for, bro. Talk about this studio.
Well, I've been doing engineering work for about 20 plus years. I've been here for 5 years, and nowadays I feel like you have to kind of do a little bit of everything, So here at the Hit Shop, we do stickers, we do T-shirts, we do videography, photography, and I produce, I mix, I'm an engineer, a little bit of everything. So, yep.
So I know a lot of artists come in here. What's the most requested thing? Are they like turn up the bass, make sure that the vocals are clean? Do they want you to just mix it down perfectly? Because sometimes you get some good, sometimes you get some bad. That's the engineer's job to polish that magic.
Here at the Hit Shop, I focus on speed. So I feel like a lot of artists come in here and they want to get a bang for their buck. So, when you book a 3-hour session here, you get a fully mixed and mastered song. You know what I mean? A lot of artists come in, it's kind of hard at first when you get an artist that's never been here to fill each other out. But for the most part, artists are coming in to get a real clean mix on their recordings.
Engineer and the artist have a special relationship. It's like finding the right mechanic. It's like finding the right doctor. Once you find the right engineer, you stick with him. Can you talk about some of the feedback some of your clients have given you and why they continue to come here again?
Well, quality, my motto is quality matters. So that's what I stick for, and I feel like when artists leave here, they know that I spend, no matter what level they're at, I'm real good with details, and I go hard on everybody's song. I have artists come here from big studios, and they come here and they see the attention and the detail on the mixes that I give them. So a lot of the artists that come, when they leave out of here, they're happy because in 3 hours I'm getting the song mixed, recorded, and mastered.
That's a big thing because I know sometimes I used to spend days mixing down a track. And you're talking about in 3 hours, you got it mastered and everything, right? Talk about some of the challenges. Are you a perfectionist when it comes down to mixing it down, or do you just talk about your work ethic?
Yeah. Well, I'm a perfectionist, anything I do, I take pride in. So artists sometimes come in here and they have a low expectations when they leave out of here. They're like, man, wow, I can't believe the song came out like this, But I'm a perfectionist, man. I'm really keen on detail, and I dissect the song, I have artists that come and sing. I pull up Melodyne, make sure that everything's on key and on point, so yeah.
What kind of feedback do you give your artists while they're recording, or do you just let them do them?
So for the first 30 minutes, I let them do them, get comfortable, I don't want to really dictate. I want to hear what they got, and then after 30 minutes of the recording, then I start I think you should do this, or I think you should do that, give me some highs, give me some lows, and I try to kind of give them examples, sometimes if they're off key a little bit, I pop on Melodyne, I'm like, look, this is how you're supposed to hit it, so try to hit it this way. So I'm very in tune with the artist. As soon as they get comfortable, I try to explain the process. When they first come in, I ask them, how do you got this song structured, Is a hook first? Is the verse first? Whatever comes first, we'll focus on that, and then we'll move on to the next part.
Is this something, being in the industry for so long, you said 5 years in this studio,
5 years.
something that you've learned from an artist that now you apply to all the other artists?
Man, I'm learning constantly. It's crazy. After 20 plus years here, doing mixing and engineering, I'm learning something new every day. Well, with artists, I feel like everybody has a different tone, and I've recorded some rock, like that dark screaming rock, so that heavy metal stuff. So that was a challenge for me because they're screaming, so I got to find how to, set the settings up on my equipment and make sure that nothing's peaking and everything's at level.
So you also say you're a producer, is that correct?
Right, correct.
What kind of music do you produce, and what kind of hardware or software do you use?
Okay. Well, I produce everything, man. I do hip-hop, R&B, reggaeton, anything. I produce everything. The software that I was using Machine, but I'm currently using Pro Tools just because I know Pro Tools so well. You know, I have the grid there, got my tempo, and I can move anything how I want. You know, I got all my settings and plugins there. If I want to, you know, put an effect on an instrument, I could do that. So it's very easy for me to using Pro Tools.
Okay. I love me some Pro Tools, man. For those that are using all the other softwares, scrap that, get some Pro Tools, right?
Yeah.
So today we're at a listening party for the homie Clue Rock and Wrds, right? Did they record the majority or all of it here at the studio?
Yeah, we recorded everything here from scratch. So, you know, I'll start making the beat and they'll write to it. You know, some stuff I would send it to them, but everything was recorded, mixed, mastered here.
So how did that conversation come about? How did the final decision come that this is the place we're gonna record it, we're entrusting you in mixing and mastering everything?
I've worked with Wrds in the past, you know, we have some history, you know, as well as Clue. And they released a project, Speech for the Poor, and I kind of like, they recorded it at home and I mixed it here. And I came up with the idea, you know, for their next project, y'all should just come here and we'll do a whole project here so that it saves us time and everything more consistent, you know, sounds straight through consistent, you know? So that was the whole, how it came about.
Is there any funny story that you could share with us? Some magic that happened here at the studio, or it's like, should this track get on the album or should not? Or like something that only in studio stuff can happen?
I can't recall anything, but I know that we had a couple tracks that were released that didn't make the project. But as far as like, no, I mean, it's really dope. Our sessions here when we get up every Monday and we kind of like chop it up. Sometimes we don't make music at all. We just talking and, you know, life stuff but nothing really crazy, you know, like these guys are very professional. They're on point, you know, like they get in the booth in 5 minutes, 10 minutes max, they got their verses down and I'm mixing, you know? So it makes my job a lot easier and it gets my creative juices going. And as soon as they're done putting their stuff down, I'm already mixing, and by the time they leave, song's done.
Okay. So you look from the outside looking in, because Wrds and also Clue Rock are very lyrical, right? They got bars for days. Do you ever see, like, for example, one comes up with a sharp 16 and the other one here is like, nah, I gotta rewrite my whole 16 now?
Well, that's the difference between Clue and Rock. I mean, Clue Rock and Wrds, I mean, they're brothers, so I feel like they kind of like complement each other very well. So I've never had that issue where they wanted to rewrite their verse. I mean, they're here, you know, sharing ideas with one another, and they make sure that, you know, we got iron sharpen iron, you know. So I feel like, you know, sometimes, you know, we'll give input like, I think you should say this, say that, but never like rewrite a verse. You know, I feel like they both go hard all the time.
Oh, and they do. They definitely do. So talk about the services, what you provide. How much is it here an hour, the whole nine?
Okay. Well, right now, currently, I'm at $75 an hour, 3 hour minimum, 70 an hour for a 6 hour block, and 65 an hour for a 9 hour block. And you can split that up in 3 sessions, or you could do all 9 hours or all 6 hours. But typically, it takes about 3 to 4 hours to get a full song recorded, mixed, and mastered.
Okay. And really quickly, if an artist wants to take the Pepsi challenge, why choose you as an engineer versus all the other recording studios in the city?
Quality matters, you know what I mean? Like, if you want an engineer that is gonna take your craft as serious as he does, then you come here, you know? Like, I'm very detailed. I go hard on everybody. It don't matter the level you're at, I go hard. You know, I try to make you sound as best as you could. And, you know, like, at the end of the day, I take pride in my work, and, you know, my work speaks for itself. And, like, you know, like, I take pride in it because, you know, like, you take that track somewhere else and people hear it, they're gonna ask, you know, where you get that done, you know what I mean? So I go hard for everybody, and quality matters. That's my motto.
Absolutely. Where can they find you on social media if they just want to check you out, or if they want to politic or get some more information?
You can find me on Instagram, Aq.Runitback. Aq Runitback, you'll find me. On Facebook, Mixed by Aq. But anywhere else, Aq Runitback, you type it up on Google, you'll find me.
Thank you very much. Any last words for anybody out there listening that wants to be an engineer, a producer, overall entrepreneur such as yourself?
Lock in and just keep going, man. You know, things get tough, and, you know, there's always new challenges. You know, there's always a learning curve. You know, you learn. I'm still learning. Just keep at it. Don't stop.
Appreciate you, bro. We right here at the Hitz shop here in Melrose Park, Illinois. I am Alex the One, getting it done. Your Latino extraordinaire. And make sure to check us out all across the board. 94.5 FM, the Hitz. Till next time, y'all. Peace.